Start off by giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Yakar Abin from Great Millstone, Houston, uh, with a lesson. It seems, uh, it seems there are people that want to think that they can just pick up the Holy Scriptures and they don't need teachers, but the Lord has always set up teachers and prophets for men to be edified. It's like, my whole life in the Christian church, I I didn't I didn't understand anything going with but then, the Lord directed me to, his teachers at Great Millstone, and I guess I'm gonna start out with Acts 8:26. And the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise, go toward the south unto the way that goeth down to Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, a eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem to worship. Well, we know, being in this truth, that this Ethiopian was an Israelite foreigner that was coming back to the Holy Land to worship, because it was a decree that all Israelite men should go 3 times a year to Jerusalem. But as we keep going, Acts 8:28 was returning and sitting in his chariot reading Isaiah the prophet. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. Okay, you know, this man was reading the scriptures, but he asked him, You understand what you're reading? And he was like, Nah. How can I understand unless some man should guide me? And that being the point. I mean, you can't just pick up the scriptures, and because if that was the case, you would have already did it. But you have to come up under men that the Lord set up as see Ephesians 4:10. He that descended is the same also that ascended up from above all heavens, that he might fill all things. He gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors, and some teachers, for the perfection of the saint, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Mashiach. See, this tells you that the Lord set up certain men to teach. And if you go against that order, you're not within the body. I mean, everything that you do, there's an order with it. When you go to work, you got somebody that's in charge, and you have to listen to that person that's in charge, or else you get kicked out, or you lose your job. I mean, you can go on the job and think you know everything. Even if you do, there's still somebody over you. So why would you think that the Lord didn't set it up the same way? I mean, we have an example of this in oh we have an example of this in Numbers. Okay. Uh, the backstory is, well, I'll read it all. It's not that big of a deal. And Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman, he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And he said, and they said, hath the Lord indeed spoke only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, Come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord came down in a pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forward. And he spake, and he said, Hear my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And in the similitude of Yahweh shall he behold. Therefore, then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? I mean, so the Lord set up Moses to be over the congregation. And here Miriam and Aaron want to talk shit. So the Lord showed them directly. I mean, I can keep reading a little bit, but the point was, how are you going to fix your mouth to go up against who the Lord set up? And Numbers 12 and 9, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, My Lord, beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us, where we have done foolishly, where we have sinned. Okay, I mean, so Miriam was turned into, her pigment was taken away because she was talking shit against the Lord's servant. I mean, again and again, the Lord says that he set up people to be in charge. I mean, in days of old, you had a king and you had a prophet. And the king was subject to the prophet. So for people to think that they could just come in and set up their own thing and understand, the scriptures on their own, the Lord not dealing with them. Well, that's the lesson. Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shah, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.